Yo, what is good, dev guys? It's your boy King. Yes, sir. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to set up the Elite Logger plugin in a fresh blueprint project. This is a blueprint project with no C++ code. So we're gonna do this as if I was a person who has not used C++ before. So the first thing you need to do is go into tools and create a new C++ class. We need to convert this project from a blueprint project to a C++ project. I'm gonna just create an actor, hit next. I'm gonna put it in this public folder and then hit create class. This will go ahead and create the class and also create a solution file that we can use. So now it's saying it needs to be built from the IDE. I'm gonna hit no on this and then I'm gonna close the editor down. And then now that we have this solution file, it is now a C++ project. And let me make this a bit bigger, but not too big. And I want to come in here and create a new folder, and this needs to be called plugins, and navigate to the link that you get from the Gumroad and come over here and get the code. And most people will do this. They'll download the zip and then they'll unzip it into the project, or they'll unzip it somewhere. A lot of people do this, but let me show you guys a trick. So copy this URL right here. Then we want to go into the plugin folder, right click, and use git bash here. You should have this if you have git installed on your computer, and you need to do git clone and then right click and paste this URL. So it's going to clone the plugin into the project files. Now if you don't have git on your computer, just go ahead and download the zip and unzip it and put the folder in here and you'll be fine. And make sure that it's the Elite Logger folder, not the one that says main or whatever it says. So I'm gonna close this down. And the cool thing right here, the reason I did this is because what you can do is if you have the GitHub client, you can point a local repository to this path right here. So you point it to that folder path, and then you'd be able to fetch any updates that I push to the repo. So, and then if it's in your project, it'll automatically just update in your project. And this plugin is made to where you really don't need to change anything that's like important. If you do, I would just extend the classes, but if you're working in Blueprint, you're probably not going to be changing much. So let's go ahead and right click and generate the Visual Studio files. This will go ahead and update the solution file with the new plugin added to it. After that's done, you want to open this up in your IDE. For me, that's Rider. You go ahead and use trust and open because we made this code ourselves, or it's from Unreal, which is a trusted source. Once Rider finally catches its bearings, it's going to ask you to install the plugin. Just go ahead and install it in the game. If you're using Visual Studio, you don't have to worry about this. Okay, so once Rider is done installing itself, now we can just go over here to the U plugin, the U project file right here. Most people, they believe that you have to turn on and turn off plugins inside the editor, but you can actually do it in this U project file. I also have a video that shows you how to solve errors with that. So let's just, what I did was copy this bracket to this bracket and added a comma and pasted it here. The name that we want to use is the Elite Logger, and we want to set it enabled to true, and then we want to delete everything from this comma to that square bracket. And now this will go ahead and turn this plugin on in our project. And since this is for the blueprint guys, you probably don't need this step, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. So come to this Elite Logger setup here, and in this public dependency modules section here, you want to go ahead and this is just me and my OCD, but you don't have to do this. You want to go ahead and add Elite Logger in quotes like that, and this will make sure that you can use the code in C++ as well. Then we can go ahead and run the editor. For your first time compiling, this might take a little time, so be patient. Once the editor finally gets up and running, you're ready to go. But first, let's go ahead and go to settings on the content browser, and I'm going to show plugin content. It's already selected, but I don't want to show C++ classes. Not important to me. So now we're able to take a look at the plugin content. Like I said, most of this stuff you won't need to change, and if you do need to change something or add something, just make a child. So you'd have to do it inside of the content folder, but just make a child of whatever it is you want to change. That way when I push an update, it doesn't affect what you're doing. So like I said, we're doing this as if you're starting a new project and you're setting up everything from nothing, and you want this elite logger in your project. The way that this plugin works is that it's built off of a game instance subsystem. So that means that as long as the game is running, that subsystem exists and you have access to the functionality of the subsystem. But we also need to have some custom stuff inside of a game's instance. So I'm going to right click in here, create a new folder, _dev, and then in here I want to create a blueprint class, and I have a elite debugger game instance, and we can just call this BP elite game instance. And the reason I'm using this is so that I could tell my subsystem which widget to spawn. And if you come over here to this debug widget variable here, you just pass it the WBP elite logger widget, and that should be good there. And if we go to our project settings and we go to maps and modes and we change this game instance to our elite game instance, we should, when we press play, we should be able to see our widget if we type in the console command, which is show elite. As long as you type in show elite, it'll finish for you, and you see there we have this up here, and I can see that there's a text issue here, so I'll push an update to fix that. And you see we only have one character because there's only one pawn in the world, and we don't have any variables that we're tracking. So let's just stop this, and I've shown this in my overview video, but I want to show it for you guys that might struggle with this. Let's do it right here because this is going to be updated. So let's get this debug system and let's track a float. And we want to track, actually, what the hell? Let's track 2 floats. And this is controller yaw. And we'll pass it this value here. And the object to track, just set it to the actor that this object is, or that this variable is on. Like I said, this filter, this object to track is more for a filtering thing, but you need to pass it something because we use the actor that the variable is stored on to actually present it to the UI. So let's pass this value, and this is controller pitch. Give it the self actor here, and then give it the debug subsystem. Compile that, and then here if I activate this here, you can see I go to full screen that we have controller yaw. You can see that the values change when I move my mouse, and this allows you to track different things here, you know what I mean? So that is how you get set up from a project from scratch. And let me see real quick what this issue is so I know where to fix it in my main plugin directory. That is in my, and this is just in case you guys I put this video out before I update that. So we want to look at plugins, elite UI, widgets, and here is where it's having an issue. So it's this text, and it's pretty much just not using a font. That's all it is. And set this to bold, and that should be good there. I don't know why that got reset. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, that's how you go ahead and set that up in a fresh project. That's a blueprint project. If you already have a fresh project and it's a C++ project, all you do is just follow the same steps pretty much. you could do it in C++, but if you really want to see the C++ implementation, just watch the next video. So if you have any questions, jump into Discord and definitely hop in the forums and post your questions. I'll try to get to them as fast as possible. But that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.